It's time to check in on the latest buzz in the entertainment world. Liz and Mike from 105 on the Buzz joining us live right now. Good morning.
Morning.
How's it going, guys? Okay, I'm sad to report I had to go get our office whiteboard because it is time to reset the counter to 0. It has now been 0 days since we've talked about Will Smith and the Oscars slap. He's talking about it. What's the latest?
Had to reset it. So he was on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah and basically talked about the whole incident and that nothing excuses his actions, but that he just felt a lot of rage that night and that there was a lot going on and that basically, you know, sometimes we need to keep in mind that people are going through a lot of stuff that you might not be aware of. Like you could just be in the grocery store sitting next to somebody and not know if they're going through a difficult time, a divorce, a death, and that sometimes maybe just kindness is the best way to go about something and knowing that people might be having a hard time right now. And I think that's like a really important message, especially during the holidays, like, cause we get the hustle and bustle and the movement of everything happening. And that can be something we can keep in mind to, you know, not get so irritated with others.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that message. I think that advice would also apply to then not turning around and slapping people when we get upset.
Well, I think one of the things we kind of got to look at here, and Emily and Liz, I'm sure you feel these thoughts. There are certain days where we might be going through emotions, but we got to kind of check those at the door when we come in to do our jobs because we're here to entertain people or give people information that they're looking for. And when you're at the Oscars and you're Will Smith, you're up for one of the biggest awards. And if he's going through something in the background, I'm sure those emotions were at an all-time high and everything was just kind of coming together all at one point and it just boiled over. So, you know, I don't want to give him an excuse or a pass, but, you know, it's one of those particular situations that I think we just kind of got to look at like that.
Are you saying I can slap you at work? I feel like that's what you did is you just gave me the go ahead.
Absolutely not.
She's going to say, look, I'm not saying it was an excuse, but I had some other stuff going on and Mike, your face was just right there. Well, I guess he also talked about how it could affect his newest movie. What did he have to say about that?
Yeah, he talked about how if people aren't ready to see him in a role right now, he completely understands if you stay home or if you don't watch or participate. Like he just was very understanding in the sense of like, listen, if I'm still coming out too soon right now, you're still kind of sick of seeing my face. It's okay if you take a step back from me. And I think that's a mature thing to say.
Interesting. Yeah, so is he doing press for his new movie now? We're going to see more of this kind of apology tour. We'll hear more about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's going to start popping up everywhere.
I'll just keep the counter at 0. We don't need to reset it because I'm sure.
I'm shocked it started with Trevor Noah. I was expecting an Oprah interview right out of the gate for Will Smith to make his first public appearance.
Gotta start little, baby steps.
I will say, an Oprah Will Jada sit down, I would watch. I would DVR. I would watch it.
I would pay-per-view that.
I would too. Well, we'll of course be keeping an eye on what else he has to say, and if he talks about it, we'll reset the counter and talk about it here. Hey, Kylie Jenner is being mocked for her Christmas tree. What did she decorate this year?
So you know how sometimes when you're driving and you're in nature and you just see these ginormous trees and they're so beautiful and you think, wow, they must have been here for hundreds of years. Like, this is so great. That's what's in her house now. She cut one down and it is being compared to the Rockefeller Christmas tree because it is ginormous. And she posted pictures to social media. So she put it out there for everyone to see. And, the internet is just absolutely roasting her. And I pulled up some of my favorite tweets that I would like to read about this.
Oh, please do.
30 possums are now homeless. Because there was a whole forest probably living in that giant tree. Kylie's tree is larger than my apartment in square footage.
That's probably accurate. Yeah.
I bet you there's spiders living in that tree.
Oh, gosh. Burn it down.
Uh-oh, it's blocking the chandelier. Is that in good taste? And what's so crazy about this is like she showed the ornaments and there's like thousands and thousands of these gorgeous glass ornaments, but the tree is just so large that after they got done decorating, there's still like 8 feet of space in between ornaments because it's just that big.
Oh my gosh. I just like look at that and I just wonder why. I know people are probably like, show us the tree. We don't have the rights to show it. So I know you guys have it on your social media. It's over on The Buzz on Facebook. And Liz, you can follow Liz and Mike on Twitter and see these pics. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with my little 6 foot like narrow fake tree. It's the narrow cut because I don't have room for a full tree in my place.
I love Christmas trees. I have 4 and I'm a renter in a very tiny space, but there is something about the fact she brought the entire nature indoors. Like, I don't know how many animals are homeless now, but they got nowhere to go.
Some squirrel is sitting outside looking in the window like, can you believe these people?
There's probably still some acorns in there. I'm not here for the obnoxiousness that is her entirely way too large tree. I want to see her decorate that thing, like individually. I want to see the video of her actually trimming the tree.
She paid people. She's getting mocked for that too, is the great family tradition of paying someone to decorate your tree for you. Which that's sad. If you have a kid, let the kid put at least a few ornaments on.
It's fun. Yeah, you know she was not there on a step stool trying to hang something, keeping the cloth ornaments down on the bottom because those are the ones that the toddlers can reach, and like telling the dog to get away from the tree. Like, you know that didn't happen.
A step stool? She'd have to get a ladder from the fire department, Emily. This thing is tall.
She would need a window washing pulley system to get to the top of this tree. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I think I'm gonna stick to my normal sized tree or trees. I like it, Liz. Put up more than one if you want. I think that's fun.
Mine are all fake and they look 100% fake. So
it's all good. It's Christmas. You get a little tinsel sparkle on there. That's all you need. Well,
just cover the bare spots with ribbon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the garland is for. All right, thanks you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, friends.
Bye, Emily.
And don't forget, you can listen to Liz and Mike every weekday morning on 105.1 The Buzz. Go check them out on social media if you want to see pictures of that giant tree.